can smell excitement in the air for once.
There's excitement in the air. It's Portland Wrestling from the Portland Sports Arena. Of action.
Now, here he is, your number one host, Frank Culbertson.
Hey, wrestling fans, it's Frank Culbertson here once again on the Portland Wrestling 2000s YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about Portland Wrestling, the Don Owens era, once again. And of course, joining me is the number one man who knows more about Portland Wrestling than anybody I know in the world. And that's Mike Rodgers. Mike, great to have you with us today.
Thanks, Frank. It's going to be a good show.
And the show today is, we're going to be talking about one of the most iconic moments in the Don Owens, we'll call it the modern era, which for fans that don't know, I consider the modern era of Portland wrestling from October of 68, when Don moved from the Armory in downtown Portland to the Portland Sports Arena, the bowling alley he converted. That's where most of the fans today remember Portland wrestling that happened, was at the Portland Sports Arena. And this is the Buddy Rose face turn in 1983, and if you were watching it on TV or you've seen it on the YouTube channels, an epic moment in Portland wrestling, don't you think, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. That people had been waiting. It's happens for all the heels, or just about all the heels. They're eventually going to turn babyface. And I think people had been waiting a long, long time for Buddy Rose. He debuted here in, I believe, 76. So that's like 7 years of waiting for him. And I have no doubt that Buddy had input and exactly knew how he wanted to turn. And with his brain and his vision of how he wanted to turn, it looks a little different than all the other babyface turns that you see. He put his spin on it, in the planning and the booking, and I think it really makes it compelling.
And a lot of times you see face turns or heel turns that seem to come out of nowhere. They happen quick. There hasn't been like any real buildup. We're going to look at some interviews and some matches, and we're going to see how this was really planned out. I'm not sure how far in advance, but maybe even could be a year in advance when we look back at the Curt Hennig, Buddy Rose feud that happened. But before we do it, let's look at, and this is a really hot time in Portland wrestling. In 1983 was really hot, especially this part that we're going to talk about. And in 1982, Portland had a real hot time as well with Buddy Rose and David Schultz. And they had a tremendous feud. Buddy Rose had his army, didn't he, Mike?
Yes. He always had a few people around him. I think it started with the sheep herders. Rip Oliver was an integral part of his army. So you always had different formations and different versions of his army.
And then in August of 82, Schultz and Rose, they had their short, it was a very hot feud, but short. They both left the area at the same time, despite one of them you would think would be here, but they both went off to do other things. And then this guy, Rip Oliver, actually formed his own clan and became the number one heel. What do you think about Rip Oliver?
Well, Rip Oliver, he kind of got promoted as far as kind of the last man standing or the next man up A lot of times they bring in somebody to fill that void, but they let him have the ball and run with it. And he really did a good job. And he was really a pretty good worker. I always, I know we're not talking about this, but I remember the probably one of his most standout matches, and that was during one of the extravaganzas. It was the Road Warriors versus Bruiser Brody and Rip Oliver. And you would think that Rip would be the odd man out. He worked so hard in that match and did some unique things, and he really wanted to shine on that stage with working with those guys. And he really proved that he was an above average worker. And, he really got a spot to shine here in the Northwest for quite a while.
And as the graphic shows there, he was the Northwest title holder 12 times and the tag team holder 16 times. And he created the iconic carry out stretcher, that's a picture of it right there. And I actually had that in my possession for a number of years. It's now gone, but Rip Oliver's the Clan carry out stretcher. So you had Buddy Rose's army, of which Rip was a member, and then Buddy leaves and he forms his own, and Rip Oliver does, and calls it the Clan. And the Assassin comes in. He had been here previously as the Destroyer, but he comes back in at the end of August of '82 and joins the Clan along with Ali Hussein. What can you tell me about him?
Well, Ali Hassan was primarily wrestled in the Detroit area, kind of an undercard guy. He wrestled in Memphis, if I remember right. Um, uh, I think Don Owen really likes the Sheik gimmick, and that gimmick just fit in perfectly. He came into the area. They moved him to the top. He won the Northwest title. Um, Usually they'll give the Northwest title to either someone who could really use the rub with the belt or someone who is just so good that they need to have the belt. And I think Ali Hassan was fit into the category where he was moved to the top, given the belt, and then he got the rub off the belt.
Yeah, worked elsewhere as Jack Cougar. You mentioned Indianapolis, and he had that look that Don Owen seemed to like a whole bunch. He was rough looking, like a Bad News Brooks,
Right.
any of those guys. Don seemed to like that look, and he got into some feuds with Brett Sawyer, which were absolute bloodbaths because Brett Sawyer seemed to like to bleed a little bit. But we put up this graphic here for the assassin, Fidel Sierra, as I know him from my times here at Portland Wrestling when he worked for me. He was the Destroyer, he was the Assassin, he was Top Gun, and he is the only person in Portland Wrestling history to hold the Northwest title 3 times under separate gimmicks. That's hard to even imagine anybody could do that.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Uh, you can't change your look, but he changed his gimmick and he always wore a mask, or usually always wore a mask. There was a period of time where he wrestled unmasked, but changed up what he wore and the different styles of masks that he wore.
Yeah, fabulous worker and a great guy. Still lives in Florida, still active in the wrestling rings, and was actually just here for the Portland Wrestling 100 celebration. Got to catch up with him again. And so August of '82 is a pretty hot time. It settles down a little bit after that as Rose leaves, Schultz leaves, Rocky Johnson had been here, he leaves. So the talent was a little bit different. You had the Assassin, you had Rip Oliver, but you had a very young Steve Pardee. You had Terry Gibbs, TJ Stone, and a very young Tommy Rodgers, who would go on to some great success. But it was a little bit different, at least till October, when this guy, Billy Jack Haynes, debuts. Mike, what's your thoughts on Billy Jack?
Well, Billy Jack had such a great look. Probably the only one you could compare with that look is Jimmy Snuka, and Billy Jack was taller, um, chiseled in a little different way. Hometown boy, which really helped his popularity. Very humble at the beginning of his career, which also helped his popularity as well. Um, yeah, he couldn't miss, with everything that he had going for him.
And the picture on the graphic there shows his body a little bit different than what you would remember him fans do in the WWF when he went there or would eventually come back. Still very well built and very solid. And you mentioned Hometown Boy. Portland had just had a bad experience with a guy named Mike Popovich, who Billy Jack will mention in an interview later. Tell us about Mike Popovich.
Mike Popovich was again a hometown boy. Um, I think it just turned out he didn't really like the wrestling business, and he just kind of eased himself out of the wrestling business. As he was going to get that very quick push as well. In fact, if I remember right, he debuted coming out of the crowd, which is something that Portland had never, or very, very rarely, that gimmick they'd ever used. And Popovich had a good look, but Billy Jack had a better look, and um, just he moved to the top of the all-time uh, Portland wrestlers as far as just popularity level.
Right. So we only have two more people to talk about before we get into that match. And the next one is this guy, Curt Hennig, who had been here before early in 82, a short run. Didn't accomplish a lot, kind of prelims to mid-card. Got beat by Buddy Rose in a match, injured, and left the area at that time. It shows you how good the booking is. Injury angle will actually come back in the next thing. But what about Curt Hennig in his first run, and then what happened later with him?
I think Curt Hennig and Buddy Rose were good friends, and that Buddy could kind of foreshadow things, just on the off chance that, down the line, maybe this can be used. Maybe we won't be in the same territory again ever, but just in case, this is something that we can stick in our pocket and use down the road, a possibility. Curt was young. He was kind of skinny.
Mhm.
He could talk pretty well for being so young. Um, but having that association with Buddy is going to help him throughout his stay in Portland.
And having been raised around the business with his dad, Larry the Axe, probably gave him some insight into how the business was run and when to talk and when to be quiet and listen. So the last person is one of the most truly amazing athletes ever to come into Portland wrestling, and it's this guy, the Dynamite Kid. Can you tell us about the Dynamite Kid?
The Dynamite Kid we were so lucky because we got to see Dynamite Kid at his absolute best. He had gotten some notoriety from around the wrestling world. People were starting to really look at him and the quality of matches he was having, especially in Japan. Um, I think I think that's where Buddy met Dynamite Kid in Japan and probably pushed for him to come into the area, seeing how talented he was. And remembering some of his work, his suplexes were just unbelievable. You could even be ready and know that he was about ready to throw a suplex, and it was so fast. Even if you were ready and watching for it, he was just at his best when he was here, and we were very lucky.
And the speed of which he worked was not something a lot of Portland fans had seen. We've seen, the normal wrestling, but the speed of which he worked in the ring, or he would do the drop kick off the top rope, and Curt Hennig, as we will see, also does a drop kick off the top rope, something that Portland really hadn't seen. We had seen Chris Adams and his super kick in '82 come in, which was new to Portland, but we hadn't really seen the drop kicks off the top rope or the power with which the Dynamite Kid, the diving headbutt that we will see later, a la Harley Race, which of course is bad for your physique to actually do later in life. But Dynamite Kid was so important. Had been here in '82 for just about 10 days. I worked a Saturday, a Tuesday, and a Saturday. And you had speculated maybe for some visa issues that he had for having to travel and keep it up. But he was here as a baby face. So when he shows back up, if anybody remembered him, it was as a face.
Right. And the one thing, he's got this ability and this style, and you have to kind of see, okay, who is he going to match up with here? Like he eventually starts working with Buddy, and that you would think that that's kind of a bad mix in style, but Buddy's such a good worker that he made it work. But I remember Dave Meltzer talking about the Curt Hennig Dynamite Kid matches, that they were absolutely the best matches going on in the entire country. So again, there was someone who their styles were able to really work together to provide some really top-notch, exciting matches.
And you mentioned wrestling fans who were either getting some newsletters or maybe early tape trading way back then. But most fans in Portland hadn't seen the Dynamite Kid. And so when they bring him up, they introduce Buddy, as we'll see, introduces him holding up an 8x10 in black and white picture of him. And it was unique in how they had to introduce wrestlers back in the day. And speaking of back in the day, we're going to get to that action. But first, we always like to go back in time and see what was popular at the movies, on television, and of course on the radio back in June of 1983. Topping the box office in June of 1983, it was Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, another movie of Star Wars I've never seen, but it did make the cover of Life magazine. And after the final of MASH in 1983 in February, there was room at the top of the Nielsen ratings, and Dallas and J.R. Ewing once again filled that spot. And if you're listening to the music, it was The Police and Every Breath You Take. Hey wrestling fans, Frank Culbertson here. Want to remind you to pick up your copies of the excellent Mike Rodgers history books on professional wrestling. There's Excitement in the Air, Volumes 1, 2, and 3, a collection of the who's who of interviews Mike did over 30 years of covering Portland wrestling. And of course, you wouldn't know history, and who doesn't? There's Mike Rodgers in it, Katie Bar the Door, The History of Portland Wrestling. There is not a more complete book on the history of Portland wrestling than Katie Bar the Door. And then, of course, there is the gigantic Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestlers. If you were a wrestler or know a wrestler that had a match at the Portland Sports Arena, they are covered in this book. From the big stars, Bull Ramos, Dutch Savage, to the tiniest ones who only had only one match at Portland Wrestling. And even some that were supposed to come in that didn't. And then, of course, Hawaii wrestling is got covered in, oh yeah, the history of Hawaiian wrestling. And that book is giant as well. Be sure to pick up your copies for yourself, or they make great gifts for the wrestling fan in your family. That's Excitement in the Air, Volumes 1, 2, 3, Katie Bar the Door, Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestlers, and oh yeah! Be sure to pick up your copies today on Amazon. Order today! Wow, Dallas, I think, was number one for absolutely forever, even after they shot JR. So we're going to get to this action. We're going to go to an interview, and it's going to be Rip Oliver and the Assassin with Dutch Savage, who, because in October of '82, a longtime Portland wrestling announcer, Frank Bonham, had suddenly passed away. And so Frank Haas and Dutch Savage took over the announcing duties. And so you'll see them as this early in Don Costa's career in Portland wrestling, and you'll get a sense of that in another interview coming up. But let's go to that. Buddy Rose comes up. He's been gone for a while. Curt Hennig came in March, injured Buddy as a payback for what happened in July the year earlier. Buddy goes off to WWF. He comes back in May, and of course, he thinks right away he's going to reform the successful Army with Rip Oliver. But Mike, there were other plans, weren't there, for Rip?
Well, yeah, Rip. Again, the booking here, the subtle ways of having the conflict. Buddy's going to just take back over where he left off. But no, Rip's been now the leader of the clan. He likes being, the leader. So Buddy's not going to take over. Buddy's like, that's okay. That sounds fine. We'll win all the belts. We'll support each other. You do what you're gonna do. I'll do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and find a new tag partner, and we'll just go on our own ways. Really subtle, really, really just gives you the smidge of wonder of what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, and the clan always had 3 people before. The Army had 3 people before. Ali Hassan had left, and so the clan was down to 2. And Buddy Rose is coming back in, looking to get the Assassin and Rip Oliver together and reform the Army. So they're both, as they'll tell you, looking for a 3rd member. And let's just play that clip.
I have been looking all over the world. I called my legal advisor, J.J. Dillon. I'm looking for a 3rd member of the clan. Well, I got the man in mind. I've given him a big offer. The 3rd member. I'm not mentioning any names who it is. I've given the man an offer. I'll know later on if he accepts. There'll be the 3rd member of the clan, and the clan will be strong again. Right now, it's got 1 leaked out of it, and it needs another man.
Rick, I don't mean to interrupt. Listen, Rip's looking for a 3rd member of the clan. I'll tell you what. Listen. We made an agreement. I got an idea here. You're a heck of a wrestler. You're running a super clan. Why don't we just join together, call it Buddy Rose's Army again, and roll the Northwest?
Oh, hold on just a minute, buddy. You said we both agreed. Now, start with, this is my interview out here, and I was telling the people about the 3rd member of my clan.
I know.
Okay, well, you come out here. I'll tell you, you'd be a perfect member for my clan. But there's no way that my clan is going to go with Buddy Rose's Army. We agreed on this before. You go your way, I go my way. I've been very successful. You went back east. You've been very successful.
Yeah.
So now it's the point. Assassin and myself, we're the remainder of the clan.
Look what I did 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, he was working with Hennig or so, and Hennig was going to go for that drop kick. I came in, I suplexed Hennig. I saved you, and you beat him because I helped you.
Wait a minute, buddy. I could have moved out of the way. I was watching Hennig. I understand the things that you hate Curt Hennig, and I understand that. But I would have moved out of the way anyway. Like Oliver said, you're not supposed to interfere in any of our matches, and I don't want to interfere in any of yours.
Okay, we made an agreement. I'll tell you what. How about then we just forget it, make us all equals, and we'll just be equals. Let's just form a team, and we'll just rule the Northwest. Let's just do that.
Buddy Rose, let me tell you something right now. You and I have been very good friends for the past 3 years, and I hope we still are. You like to run things your way, which you do a very good job of. Well, I like to run things my way, which I've
doing good. Yes.
I've been very successful.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
I know it's to the point, buddy. I just myself, I'd rather you find you another partner, and I've got me another member of the clan.
Who can you find better than me?
It's not the point of finding someone better than you, buddy, because you are one of the best. You're one of the top 10 in the world.
Take care. I'll tell you what. These guys are the tag champions. We made a deal. A deal's a deal. The best of luck to you. Keep your belts. I'll get my own partner, and I'll get somebody. Good luck to you. We're going to stay friends, brother. And I'll find a partner somewhere, someplace, because I'm going to be in some tag matches in the future. And good luck to you. Hang on to your belts.
I wish you the best of luck tonight, buddy. And I'll find my member of the clan. Tonight's the big one for the Ripper. I'm all ready, baby.
So there you have it. Rip Oliver and Buddy having a little conflict, just really light conflict. But Rip mentions J.J. Dillon. And Mike, in Encyclopedia, I should stop and mention Mike Rodgers is the author of all the books that you need to have available on Amazon. Look at them right here. Books, Excitement in the Air, volumes 1, 2, and 3. tremendous interviews with the stars, past and the present, of Portland wrestling. And then you've got the encyclopedia of Portland wrestlers. Anybody that had a match, a single match, or was going to have a match and didn't come in, they're in this book. It's giant, over 500 pages. It is an encyclopedia you need to have. It's available on Amazon. And then, of course, the Katie bar the door, the history of Portland wrestling. Mike, that is really a definitive book on Portland wrestling, isn't it?
It was a lot of fun to produce those books. Lots of information. I'm really proud of how they turned out, and I think everybody will like them.
Well, so he mentions J.J. Dillon, and J.J. Dillon had actually had a match in Portland just a couple of months before.
Right. J.J. Dillon was famous for being the leader of the Four Horsemen, of course, and he had one match somewhere. I think I had seen an interview of J.J. Dillon. He was very proud to have wrestled, I believe, in almost every state. And so coming into Oregon, getting at least one match was probably on his bucket list.
So we're going to look at the second interview, and it takes place the following week. They use the 8x10 picture. They offer from $15,000. They talk about $15,000, which in today's money is $48,000. Which back then, $15,000 seemed like a lot. And if they had said $100,000 or $200,000 in the exaggeration, nobody would have believed it.
Important message for us. Well, wrestling world and the people out in TV world and you people right here, listen to this. And Rip Oliver, my good friend, I know you're going to be a little surprised. I wanted to tell you in the dressing room, but here it goes. I found myself a partner. I found myself one of the greatest wrestlers in professional wrestling. And I'm going to show you a picture of him right now, and then I'm going to describe him. If you could get the camera on this man right here. He was here for 1 week before. His name is Dynamite Kid from England. Now, Dynamite Kid didn't get the name Dynamite for nothing. All you got to do is light his fuse and let him go, and this guy explodes. And I'll tell you what, it cost me a lot of money. Rip, this is my interview. Wait, did your interview last week? Go ahead, take it. What do you want?
What's this picture you got here?
Dynamite. I know what you're going to say. You tried for him too. I found out you wanted the same guy. You wanted a third member. I wanted him too. You offered him a lot of money, but I'll tell you what I did. I went a little bit above you, and I had to go an awful lot. I offered him a percentage of what I make to come because I can make a lot of money with this guy. It was a business deal. And Rip, if you need a third member to the Army or something, I'll help you find anybody. You're doing great. You're the champions. You'll keep the belts. But I need this guy bad.
Well, I was wondering why I haven't received a phone call the past couple of days from the kid, but now I know.
I know why you didn't. He offered him 15 grand.
Well, he did outbid me just a little bit, but not very much. I tell you what, the man is one of the toughest men that ever been. Rose, you're very smart. You went over me on that one, brother. That's good.
Not over you on that. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. We'll just keep looking for. I need a third member now. Now I got two guys. I need a third member. You're looking for a third member. We'll just keep looking. You find somebody for me, I'll take him. If you know, it's just a business deal. I've got him. There's a lot of other sharks out in the sea. You can find another one. But right now, I got Dynamite Kid, and this is the challenge. I mean, you're not bad, are you?
I understand. You wanted one of the best. Well, he is one of the best. That's why I had my eye on him for the clan. You got him. You offered the most money. You can have him. I'll find someone else. There will be a clan. I will keep my clan.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you. Keep the belt. Please, I'm on your side all the way, but it was a business deal, and I needed this guy. Now, you people out there, listen to this. I got something else I got to tell you guys. Listen to this. Okay, I'm going my way, and Rip Oliver's going his way. We don't help each other. We do our own business deals on our own. This guy's keeping the belts by himself, and I'm doing it by myself with Dynamite Kid. Now, Billy Jack, you caused me from winning the championship last week. Billy Jack, the guy's been a thorn in your side. Well, let me tell you what, Hennig's been a thorn in my side, and I want the first possible date that I can get. Dynamite Kid and I want to challenge Billy Jack and Curt Hennig as soon as possible, any city, anywhere. And I know whether they win, lose, or draw tonight with you guys. I'll tell you what, you just stick the knife in him, and then we'll take it and we'll twist it. That's all there is to it.
You know what you're talking about when you're talking about Billy Jack. I know you had your feud with Curt, but Billy Jack is something else. You're going to need Dynamite Kid for him, brother. That's why I got him. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Buddy Rose' new partner. It cost him $15,000 to outbid Rip Oliver for the man. The Dynamite Kid, he's from England. You've seen him in here once before. He's a sensational young man. I never thought he would turn out to be a man that would side with you, but I guess money does have its meaning, doesn't it?
Good luck to Buddy Rose and his new army starting up, and good luck to the Klan if they can find a third member, and the world keeps on going.
Oliver will find his third member for the Klan. Rose, you do your thing. Like you said, you stay on your own. You stay out of my business. I'll stay out of yours. The Klan will remain on top, baby.
And by Rose and Oliver both winning Dynamite, it really gave Dynamite importance and lifted them up right away.
Exactly. With the fans not really have heard of Dynamite Kid, it's like, oh, this guy must be pretty good. They both want him to be their tag team partners. So it kind of put a spotlight on Dynamite before he ever got here.
Early in their careers, you're going to see a young Curt Hennig, really skinny, Billy Jack Haynes, who has been in some singles, but they have tagged him up a lot with guys like Chris Adams and Stan Stasiak to cover up some of his youthfulness, we'll call, in the ring. As Stasiak at this point was a veteran, but knew what he was, could carry anybody to a match, couldn't he, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was a really smart pairing, Stasiak and Billy Jack. And keeping them in tag matches, just getting Billy's feet wet and a little bit of understanding of how to work. It was really, really smart.
So let's join that first fall in progress. It's Curt Hennig and Billy Jack versus Playboy Buddy Rose and the Dynamite Kid.
Hey, welcome to Billy Jack country. Look at that. I don't think a tag was made, was it? Billy Jack almost disemboweled it. Left hand hook, flat of the arm whip all the way across the ring. Billy Jack going up for a high monkey flip. Oh! He almost did a 1.5. The kid doesn't know where he is. Oh! Smashed by the head by Billy Jack into the corner. Vicious smash that was. There's a reversal. The kid tries for a slam, short slam. Kid going up to the top rope. Billy Jack trying to come to his senses. There's a drop kick. Boy, he really nailed it. A nip up after a drop kick from the top rope. He really nailed Billy on that one. I think he got him right on the jaw, Dutch. There's a short slam again. No, it's something different. Oh. Standing pile driver, the hard way. That may be it. There's your first fall. Dynamite Kid and Playboy Buddy Rose. What do you think about Dynamite? That's really Here you go. Pile driver, the hands of the Dynamite Kid on Billy Jack. We'll be back with our second fall. Right after we give you a little rundown on some action going on in the Pacific Northwest. Look at
So we're going to join the second fall in action and see what happens here. And do they even it up, or is it two in a row?
Action City. He makes a tag with Curt Hennig. Hennig is in. Look at Hennig. He's going to unload all over Playboy Buddy Rose. And he does. He whips him into the turnbuckle. Airborne. Ooh. Airborne. He came down with ice on him. With the body slam. Oh, Curt Hennig's going up. If he drop kicks Rose, he may perhaps kill him. He does. He got it. Oh, my goodness. Dynamite tries to come in, takes a terrible spill. Dynamite Kid tried to come off that top rope. We're all even in a fall of feet. I wonder if Rose is hurt on that one. He tripped and fell.
So it's all even up, and we're going to go to the third fall. We're going to show the entire third fall. And it's really funny at the very beginning because Dutch Savage is trying to figure out how much time they have left in the match. And so he's asking the production truck, and he says, if they'll tell me, then I'll tell the guys in the ring, who was Rose and Dynamite Kid hadn't left the ring after the second fall. And to see how much time, like there wasn't the IFBs that they have nowadays, because they had no idea that there was 13 minutes left in it. But let's go to that third and deciding fall and see what happens between Rose and the Dynamite Kid.
Okay, we're going to take it right back out to the ring for the third fall action. Go ahead and ring that bell for the third fall. Get the people out here. If I can just get from my director how much time we've got left in this bout, we'll relay it on out to the ring there. Okay, when the bell rings, we're going to have 13 minutes remaining in about 13 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Butler. Sometimes we get a little discombobbled up here with folks and everybody being around the crow's nest, and the director out in the truck has to watch the monitors in the truck, and he can't see what we're doing. No fault of his. We just got messed up that time. And I'm blaming it all on Don Cost. Did I thank you for my nice birthday present? You brought me that nice KRDR hat and that mug and everything, and a nice card and everything. And you're a neat guy, Don Cost. As long as I get a little pressure. Just keep them coming. Third and deciding fall. Don, take it.
May not be aware of is that you saw the Dynamite Kid and Playboy Buddy Rose standing out there in the ring. They were not early arrivals back to the ring. They never left the ring after that second fall. They stayed where this place was absolutely pandemonium city. People were ringing that ring during that last match and afterwards. I don't know if they could have gotten out of there if they wanted to, but it took Buddy Rose a while to recover from that drop kick off the top rope by Curt Hennig, and they never left.
Buddy was extremely fortunate that he wasn't turned sideways and caught those feet on the side of his neck like it happened to him before.
Right.
He caught the full blunt of that blow right in the chest area. He was extremely lucky.
I don't know what's going on out there right now. They're trying to figure out who's supposed to be out there first, and it's Rose and Hennig. This is it. Whoever wins this one tonight will face the Assassin of Rip Oliver in a tag team title match next Saturday night right here. Now, we don't know if that's going to be on television, so make your plans now to be here at the Portland Sports Arena next Saturday night. Oh, great move by Northwest Heavyweight Champion Hennig to a head scissors on Playboy Buddy Rose. Oh, he's got that one.
He's horsing on it.
Rose is going to try to...
We're being directed by Dick Butler tonight. Who's the masked man on the camera over to my right, number 2? We have the masked cameraman tonight. Dun, dun, dun.
The mystery cameraman.
Laura, our director, is beautiful as ever. And our handsome red-headed cameraman on number 1. Bill Campbell's on 2. Who's that on number 1? Tom Goody on number 1. What a team, what a team. KPTV Channel 12. Portland Wrestling.
That's number 1. Look at that. He's got that thing locked in there. Rose did kick out. He's right back in it.
Right back in it again. You know, a lot of times as an individual, just mentioning the mere mention of the man's name, Tom Peterson, you can't give that guy enough credit. People don't realize how much money he turns over to charities and everything else during the year. He's just not a businessman, part of the Portland community, a part of the Pacific Northwest. Tom Peterson is a gentleman of true form. And when I look at him and how long he's been faithful to us, hard right hand by Hennig, it amazes me. And he never changes. He's a heck of a guy. Yeah, never changes. Always has a smile, always has a good word for everybody.
He's a gentleman of the nth degree. Proud to have known Tom over many moons. Hey, we got a
big Billy Jack. All you can see is his legs in the camera. Curt Hennig's the young gentleman on a mat in red tights with the headlock on Playboy Buddy Rose.
Rose trying to reach for his corner for a tag. Dynamite Kid, and thus he did.
Hennig was ready.
And Curt unceremoniously wrapped a headlock on the Dynamite Kid, immediately took him over. There's a wide angle shot. Rose still in a bit of pain. Dynamite tries to shoot Hennig off in the far ropes. Coming at you. There's a tackle by Hennig. Dynamite tries for a hip lock. Curt reverses the hip lock. Takes him down. Side headlock. Rolls him over. Has the same hold back again.
A lot of those fancy moves that the Dynamite Kid is trying to pull off just are not happening.
I'd like to have a team like Billy Jack and Curt Hennig. Own a stable of them. Or a team like Buddy Rose, the Dynamite Kid. Rip Oliver, the Assassin. Al Madrill, Brian Adidas. The Samoans, Ron Ritchie, Chris Colt. Not to mention one of our veterans, all-time great, Stan Stasiak. There's a try for a goal behind by Rose. He tried to slam. Turn around, ran into a right hand. He met a boot by Billy Jack when he came into the ring. Here's an arm. Ooh! Hard arm whip. He picks him up. Oh, he slammed him on his shoulder. There's a try for the full.
Here comes that Dynamite Kid in there again.
He raked Billy extremely hard across the facial area. Rose is holding Billy Jack. There's a drop kick. The Dynamite Kid knocks Buddy Rose flat on his back. There's a sugar hold by Billy Jack. He got it. He got it. The winners of the bout, Curt Hennig and Billy Jack. They'll face Rip Oliver and the Assassins for the title next Saturday here at the Portland Sports Arena. Woo!
Was that something else?
Look at the fans are exuberant. They're rushing the ring. Look at this.
Oh, hey, the Dynamite Kid's unloading.
Dynamite Kid just took a shot at Playboy Buddy Rose. We keep the camera on the ring. He hit Buddy Rose again. Buddy Rose gives Dynamite Kid some punishment in return. He's hollering for Rip Oliver and the Assassin. They were coming up here for an interview. They're heading for the ring.
I don't think this
Rip Oliver and the Assassin are going to try to beat up on the Dynamite Kid. But they grab Buddy Rose!
What a
all three of them are working Buddy Rose over. Billy Jack and Curt Hennig is standing there watching three men work on two. They don't know what to do. They're getting out of there. Look at this. Oliver and the Assassin holding Buddy Rose. The Dynamite Kid just punishing and punishing and punishing Rose. What a turn of events. Now Oliver and the Assassin turn on Billy Jack.
What a weird turn of events.
And Curt Hennig, what's going on? Pandemonium.
Oh, we've got to fight down here.
They've busted up. They've cut Rose up severely. They're going to work him over. All three of them. Now they just wake Sandy. That's gone too far.
Yeah, they hit Sandy Barr.
There's a body slam by Rip Oliver. Rose bleeding confused about the head. They're setting him up. Dynamite Kid's coming off the top rope. Oh, my goodness. Headbutted. There comes Billy Jack back into the ring to help out Rose. There's Curt Hennig helping out Buddy Rose, if you can believe this. Curt Hennig and Billy Jack helping out Playboy Buddy Rose.
What a weird thing has happened out here.
Vicious move by the Klan.
I don't think that's what Buddy Rose had intended when he made that $15,000 investment.
I can't believe it. Dynamite Kid turned against Buddy Rose, who brought him in here. Oliver and the Assassin. I should have known better. Rose cut very badly in the head and face area.
Curt Hennig and Billy Jack. That means that Hennig and Billy Jack are going to meet Rip Oliver and the Assassin
next Saturday night here. I can't believe the turn of events here tonight, folks. Don't go away.
Oh, boy, we'll be back with more interviews and who knows what after this time out.
All right, I don't mind 2-on-1, but 3 guys on one is unbelievable.
Dynamite Kid, will you tell him, baby? Let me tell you something, Don Savage. Buddy Rose, you paid me money to be on a winning team. You lost both falls. You're no good. You never was any good. And now I am with Oliver's clan. I'm in the clan. Money talks. Lean, mean, fighting machine. I'm with the clan. I'm staying with the clan. I'm making big money. You can go on your own lead. Leave the Northwest. You are finished. You don't ever get a look at the back of it, Rose. Number 1, Oliver's clan, baby. You pulled a slick with her, but you see who's laying in the ring. Dynamite Kid, brother, I'm proud to have you as a member of my clan. I've been waiting a long time since the Sheik left, and I got one of the best men that ever could be, buddy. Hey, Buddy Rose, you got exactly what you deserve. You tried to double-cross the clan, brother. Look at him laying out there in that blood. Let me tell you something. Curt Hennig and Billy Jack beat you tonight. So, next Saturday night, the Oliver clan is all strong again, and we will put our belts on the line. And Billy Jack Tuesday night, baby, me and you are getting down. Look at Rose up there right now. Is the clan strong as it's ever been? Oliver! Nothing. Oliver! My kid. Oliver, why are you doing this? You're doing this to me! That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're done. We're going to get out of here. We're going to get... No, just like I said, money talks, buddy. Buddy Rose just viciously triple-crossed by the Dynamite Kid, the assassin, and Rip Oliver. The man that Buddy Rose brought in, the Dynamite Kid, was the third man in that ring against these three guys. Next Saturday night, Don, Curt Hennig and Billy Jack against Rip Oliver and the assassin for the title. Don, take us home.
And so there you see it. Dynamite Kid has attacked Buddy Rose for him costing 2 falls out of the match. And Rip Oliver and the assassin come in. The fans are absolutely sure they're going to come in and help their friend Buddy Rose attack this new upstart Dynamite Kid. But Mike, that's not what happened, was it?
No. As it turns out, Dynamite is joining the clan, and they do a beatdown of Buddy. And, that's going to be the start of where fans are really seeing Buddy as, possible fan favorite. And that kind of stuns everybody.
Yeah. And so as this storyline plays out, nobody has come in. Billy Jack and Curt Hennig come back in, but they don't actually save Buddy. They just kind of look at him, and the other people leave. Oliver and the assassin Dynamite Kid leave, but they just leave Buddy Rose in the middle of the ring. So he's not a face yet because the good guys didn't help him out. They just leave, which leads us to this the next show where Buddy comes up for an interview and chaos ensues. And honestly, I don't think Don Cost knew what to do. Let's take a look at that interview.
Action, ladies and gentlemen, Playboy Buddy Rose.
People boo me, but I got something to say, and all week long I've had something to say to Rip Oliver and the clan. Now, you people, if you hear me out, I can get my point across here.
He don't have nobody. The clan has got Rose. Look at him. What's the matter, Rose?
Rip Oliver, the assassin, the Dynamite Kid.
Don Cost, I told you people, the clan was number one. Rose tried his best to get my man. He's laying there now in a puddle of blood. Get him one more, baby. Do it again. I love it. Rose, this shows you, boy, you don't have no one, no help at all. Lay there and bleed, you puddle of blood. That's right! The clan's going crazy! Oliver's clan will rule the New Northland, whether you people like it or not! Rose, you remember this a long time. Billy Jack, Curt Hennig, you'll get the same thing if you mess with the clan, baby, because we're number one. We're staying number one. No one gets in the clan's way. Lay there, you folks.
I wonder if we could get somebody up here. I've never seen anything like this before up here in the crow's nest. Buddy, I don't even know if Buddy's conscious or not. Are you all right? All right. This is absolutely so uncalled for. This is what happened last Saturday night. Buddy Rose, the Dynamite Kid, the Assassin, and Rip Oliver teaming up on him like this. He's lying right here right now, bleeding all over the place. I've never seen anything like this. I never saw anything like this last Saturday night. I've never seen anything like this in the crow's nest before. Playboy Buddy Rose. I don't even know if Buddy is coherent right now. I don't even know if I'm coherent right now. This is absolutely so unnecessary. 3 men coming up here like this, interrupting an interview, and unloading all over Buddy Rose like this. You can see the man is like, can you get it? You can see the man lying down here, bleeding all over the place. His forehead is cut, his face is cut, is kicked on the top of the head. I don't know, Buddy, can you? He's trying to get to his feet and gather his thoughts. Well, I don't know. This is a heck of a way to conduct an interview, ladies and gentlemen. That's a terrible way for adult men to act. Vicious. I mean, that's absolutely uncalled for. We're going to have to get out of here. We'll be back after this commercial timeout.
So once again, Mike, nobody comes up to save Buddy Rose, which is what usually happens when a face turns happen. The good guys come out of the dressing room, they chase the heels off, but in this case, they just let Buddy Rose, who Don Cost isn't sure is even alive, I think, just sit there and bleed. And you notice how great those punches were and how great Buddy Rose's selling was of those punches. So that as a fan watching, you really believe Buddy was really getting torn apart.
Well, and it's subtle, not being saved by other baby faces, because Buddy Rose has been a heel, the number one heel for most of 7 years. And there is not going to be baby faces who are going to forget that and come up to try to save him. It's like, he's getting what he deserved after all these years. So there's that sentiment by the baby faces by not coming out. The fans get that message. Nobody's going to save him, just how despicable a person he was. So then he's sat there, triple teamed. He's getting that sympathy. That needs to resonate with the fans a little bit. And I think Buddy knew that.
And so the main event that night was a tag title match. Rip Oliver and the Assassin defending their titles against Billy Jack and Curt Hennig. And then total chaos breaks. The Dynamite comes in and interferes. And then somebody has to come to the rescue. And who is it? It's Buddy Rose.
Here comes the Dynamite Kid. The Dynamite Kid drops an elbow on Billy Jack. What is this? That's a disqualification. Dynamite Kid is choking Curt. That's a disqualification. The Dynamite Kid is crazy. They're doing a number on Curt. Oh, Curt tangle up in there. He's trying to get out of there. Trying to get loose. He can choke in there. He's got his leg hooked in there. His wrist hooked. He's all tangled up in that top. That a Dynamite Kid. Oliver's got a chair over there, Dutch. Dynamite Kid's trying to get... Uh-oh, what are they going to do with that chair? Oh, no, they're going to try to... Here comes Buddy Rose. Here comes Buddy Rose. He grabs the chair from Oliver. Hits Oliver with the chair. Bashes Oliver's head on the ring. Look at Rose. He's going crazy. He throws Oliver into the turnbuckle. Rose is absolutely... Jackson tries to grab Rose from behind him. Rose nails him. What a turn of events. Oh, he throws Assassin in. Big elbow. I can't follow all this action. We got everybody in there. Everything's going crazy. Oh, we have pandemonium breaking loose. Everybody on their feet. Look at this. Three-way. Oh, the crowd is going wild. Playboy Buddy Rose has just saved the day and possible injury to Big Billy Jack and Curt Hennig. Listen to him applaud the Playboy. Does that look like a new army out there, Dutch? These people are going crazy for the man they hated for 8 years. Look at the kids jumping up to congratulate Rose for helping out. There's a young man in the ring, doesn't belong there. I don't know who those people are. Look at the kids. They're clamoring after Playboy Buddy Rose. Look at the kids. Oh, this place is going crazy. This place is going crazy. Look at the place is pandemonium. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. A man that was hated and despised by every mother, son, and God. Picking him up. Putting him up on his back. Folks, I got to stand up. If you can hear me. We've got about 100. You won't believe what these fans... I've never seen anything like it in my entire career. We've got about 100 people in the ring right now. The man that they love to hate, they are now loving to love. Playboy Buddy Rose. Look at him. I think Buddy said, I got him for you. Words can't explain it. Look at the room. The ring is full of kids. Buddy. Somebody's got a microphone here.
You want to say something?
Hey, I got something to say to Billy Jack and Curt Hennig on the interview in just a minute. So everybody please listen. And I want to thank everybody in Portland.
Well, we got ourselves a new hero. All right, can we clear the ring, please? You children, please. We understand you're excited. Please clear the ring so these two gentlemen can talk. This place Be careful getting out of that ring. You talk about coming unglued. Please clear the ring. We're going to try to glue things back together. Would you get inside and get the people out of the ring so we can see the wrestlers, please? Don't go away. We've got more.
But it's so iconic about this turn is the fans start getting in the ring. Buddy invites one up, and then there's two. And then the ring, I had never seen it before in Portland wrestling because they always kept all the fans completely away from the ring. All the fans, the kids, they come in the ring and they put Buddy up on their shoulders and start carrying him around. And Buddy, knowing what he was supposed to do next, he invited them all in, but then he made sure to tell the people that I'm coming up there for an interview. He was in total control of the situation. In there with the bandages and the blood from earlier before. It was a moment that Portland wrestling fans never forget.
Exactly. And I'd be really curious to know if Buddy had thought this little aspect through, or if that is just something that happened organically, where fans were so overcome with excitement that they started, one came in and then a few more came in. Suddenly everybody's in the ring. Again, it's one of those moments that help magnify the situation. A Buddy Rose turn, you're going to remember that. but you're also going to remember the only time that fans came into the ring like that to help celebrate, and they weren't immediately chased out.
Can you imagine those fans today? I would love to interview them and think, what was going through your mind when all of a sudden you're in the ring with the hated Buddy Rose and you're cheering him on, the emotion. And that's what makes pro wrestling great, when those kind of emotions come out and you remember them years later.
I am so excited. I've shed my coat. Pandemonium has broken loose. I have never seen anything like it in all my life. Playboy Buddy Rose, for what it's worth, congratulations.
Don Owens, Billy Jack, Curt Hennig, I'm asking you please to come up to this interview, and while you're on your way up here, I got something to say to you people and to you, Dutch Savage.
You take the microphone.
Okay? First of all, Dutch, before you go away, the first thing I want to do is apologize to one of my toughest opponents in the last 7 years. I know we didn't get along. We argued a lot, but Dutch Savage, I'm putting my hand out to you. I'm apologizing to you, first of all, right now in front of everybody in TV and right here. Now, and I know a lot of you people probably don't trust me, probably don't believe me, and I don't blame you. But I got just a few minutes to explain myself. Curt Hennig, Billy Jack. Hi, Billy, Curt. Is Don Owens coming up here? Don Owens, I got to talk to you, please. Billy Jack, I want to say something to you, first of all. And Curt Hennig. You, Curt Hennig, you were the only man that put me out of professional wrestling, and a lot of guys did hurt me, but you're the first man that ever did it. And I'm asking you people to please listen to this, and I'm telling the truth, and I swear on my mom right here in Don Owens, I want you to please hear this. Curt Hennig, I want to ask you if you'll please accept me to come with you and form a tag team and go against anybody we... and go against anybody we can put our hands on. And Don Owens, I'm asking with you as my witness here and as Savage as my witness, I'm putting my hand out to you, and if you'll please accept my hand, I can tell you right now we can go a long way, and I'm promising the people I'm not going back on my word. Here. I love it.
Hey, he's hurt me, I've hurt him. You come on our side, you can be nothing but an asset, in my opinion. And I don't know what Billy Jack has to say about it.
I have something to say to Billy Jack. Excuse me, I'm sorry, okay? Billy Jack, I want to say something special to you. You came up to me about a year ago and said, I want to get into wrestling, and I spit on this guy right back here. And I said he'd never make it. I said he was a quitter. And the guy never quit, and he kept coming and coming, and he hurt me in 5 seconds at Christmas right here in Portland. And any man that can do that, and you've dedicated your life to wrestling the last year, and I know you've had a lot of setbacks in the family. I know you've had a lot of problems, and you've not let it stop you. And I just want to put my hand out to you, and I want you to please accept me as a partner. And I think we could, all three of us, could get the plan and end this once and for all.
Let me say something here, brother. I don't know. Okay, first of all, you know, you spit in my face back here. You probably thought I was some dumb punk quitter like the Mike Popish that was here. No, that's not me. I'm a Portland boy, and I proved it to everybody. And I'm going to tell you something, buddy. You saved me from getting my fingers broke out there. You saved me from getting my fingers broke.
I want everybody to hear this.
Okay, hold on. You saved me from getting my fingers broke tonight. One good turn. You said you swore on your mother. That's a pretty heavy statement to me, because my mother's dead and I got a tattoo of her because I love her very much. You bet I'll join you all the way, baby. We're going to kick some butt. All three of us.
Don Owens. Yeah. Don. Hey. One more thing. One more thing. Wait, one more thing, please. Don Owens. Last 8 years, you and I haven't got along on the telephone or in that office at all. We've had a lot of run-ins with our mouths and about money, and I did get on your nerves quite a bit. That's the best way I can put it mildly. But I'd like to tell you if I got these two as my partners and you just saw it, if you could work it out, let's try to get a 6-man tag with the Clan right as soon as possible.
Okay. If I can line it up, why, I'll do my best to do it. I'd like to see it myself.
He said he'd do his best, Dutch Savage, to get the match. We'll find out later on. I'm sorry what I've done to you. I'm sorry what I've done to you. I'm sorry what I've done to you. But I'm not going to be sorry what I do to you, Rip Oliver. He's not going to be sorry. I'm not changing my style, but I'm just changing the other side of the fence where the grass is greener and these guys have got the green grass and you got the old grass, and we're just going to come over that fence and we're going to stop you guys once and for all.
And so Buddy goes up and has the interview where he calls Don Owen, he calls Curt Hennig, he calls Billy Jack Haynes up, and he apologizes to Dutch Savage, and Dutch is like, it's like Christmas to Dutch Savage. Buddy is apologizing to him, and he's trying to apologize to all the fans, and he goes to Curt Hennig, and you can tell where Curt and Billy are really young at this, because if you watch Buddy in this interview, he's kind of telling him, okay, I want you to talk. And you can see with Billy doesn't grab the mic and go off, and he's telling him, yeah, go ahead and talk. You can go back and watch it. And he's telling him, you got to say something. But this was, for someone like Billy, who's this young and on top, had to be unbelievable at that position in his career.
Yeah, I think so as well. And what a group of talent, to assemble for one match. The Northwest was really, really lucky. All those guys were so talented, and yeah, 6 guys, just that would go on to have just Hall of Fame careers, almost every one of them.
And in fact, this will lead to our next show that we'll be doing here in just a little bit. And it's going to be the 6-man tag that comes up from this. It's going to be Dynamite, Rip Oliver, and the Assassin, the Clan, against Curt Hennig, Billy Jack Haynes, and the new favorite in Portland wrestling, Buddy Rose. And it is a tremendous match. And it as we talk about what'll happen after that, going back to 82 and some slow times, some great times in the first 8 months, a little bit slow for the last 4, and then another hot period. It was really hard especially in this time when WWF was trying to do their national expansion, it was hard for independents like Portland to have hot matches all the time, but Portland did a pretty good job about that.
No, absolutely. The talent, the young talent that got to come into the area, and learn and improve, always made Portland wrestling compelling. At the beginning of their careers, you saw Roddy Piper and Jesse Ventura and so many others. It made Portland interesting to watch.
And again, I've been down to the picture here that gave to us from Rich Patterson. You can see on this night, don't know what night this was, but the crowd absolutely packed. And if you go back and watch those matches the falls we just looked at, the crowd is absolutely packed. You could not get, that had to be, standing room only. Probably people turned away. I would imagine 3,000 people were absolutely crammed in there to watch this match and to watch the 6-man that's going to come up in our next show. An absolutely hot time in Portland wrestling. And if you want to know more about Portland wrestling, if you want to watch any of these videotapes, I mentioned Rich Patterson, who took this picture. Rich Patterson has all the 400 hours of Buddy Rose collections from before the VHS era. He has them available. Here's how you get a hold of Rich, and you can buy the whole set for yourself and watch these over and over and over. But be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a moment of great Portland wrestling action. But if you need to remember what happened when and what matches happened in what order, be sure to check out the books by Mike Rodgers, Katie Bar the Door, and the Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestling. The encyclopedia has every single match that happened at the Portland Sports Arena. And so you will see who was here and who wasn't. If it was a Saturday or a Tuesday night special, they're all there. And biographies of every single person with the exception of one, Mike. We got to admit we missed one person out of all the people, and that was who?
Woody Farmer.
Woody, we apologize, Woody. If we ever do an update, we'll be sure to put you on the cover. But as we say, this is Portland Wrestling the way it should be. So be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next show. It's the 6-man tag of Portland Wrestling, Buddy Rose, Billy Jack Haynes, Curt Hennig against the Clan. And it is a Donnybrook. Frank Culbertson and Mike Rodgers, thanking you for joining us here today on Portland Wrestling 2000s. Again, wrestling the way it should be.
Wrestling, always the house of action.